Okay, good morning. Here we are then. We have here the crypto without Bitcoin, excluding Bitcoin chart. So I love doing these charts first thing in the morning when I first wake up. As you can see, I'm still a bit sheepish. This is on a daily chart, and this is from the highs in December. No, they were January, weren't they? They were January. So it was January the 4th, wasn't it? 2018, January the 5th, January the 4th. Let me get some accurate. I think it was the 4th. There was the big one. So it really went absolutely incredible on the 4th. Let's zoom in. I just want to get that so it's accurate. So we're looking at nearly 3 years ago now, aren't we? So if I move my head, it would be easier. Let's get... So that's January the 5th. We had a market cap of non-cryptos of 474 billion of non-Bitcoin market cap. That was when it was crazy. And we are heading for that again, folks. We're not going to have less than that. So it's the 5th, where we had highs of 474 billion market cap, non-Bitcoin. So other cryptos, altcoins. We obviously came down there in March, and we went back up in April, and we hit perfectly. As you can see, that April was a perfect Fib 50. We went right back up to 50% of that, and we had highs of 250 billion non-Bitcoin. We haven't hit those heights yet, but interestingly, after a really poor time where we only got to the 236 in the 19 highs, where we got up to highs of 141 billion in June 2019 on the 26th, when Bitcoin hit 1388 and Bitcoin had actually got right up to the Fib 382. This remained at the 236. We had a small renaissance in January and February. We had the COVID crash. Then we built a steady rise up to this summer, where we got to that 236 level again, but we bettered it this time. And then we went along it for a long, long time. Look, there was a long period there where the altcoins battled the 236 fib for a long period. So you're looking at first contact with it was around here, 31st of July, got just above it, but sort of hugged it. So from the 31st of July to the 5th of November, then finally broke free of that level and remained above the 20 average, the 20-day EMA. Just dipped below it in the last day or two, and we're firmly hugging the 382 fib now, aren't we? We're really in that area now, the 382 fib, where we got above it for a day on the 24th. I think that was the day that Ripple really picked up that day. Back down to the 20-day moving average. Back up, test the 382, hug it for a whole week. And now we come down and we closed below it, but we've come back up and we're testing it now. So we're really honing in on that level. We don't really need to look at it on a weekly chart now that I've shown you it on a daily chart zoomed in. These measurements are accurate. And so let's have a bit of a closer look. Look, we have closed below that 20 a day. Now we're going back up and we're testing it. Today's flag is going back up. We're testing that 20. It'll be interesting if it can get above that. Recently in the pullback, recently from the summer's pullback, so from the summer highs where we had a marvellous run in the summer, all the way from March, an incredible run up in altcoins from lows of 43 billion to highs of, in the summer, to highs of 158. Now, if I put a fib on that, if I put a Fibonacci on that measurement there, we came down to the 382, and we again 236 was an issue. So yeah, we had a marvelous run up all the way from 43 billion to 158. Then we had our correction, and we stayed around the 50-day and this Fibonacci 236 for a long period of time, which is encouraging. And now we're battling that 382. So the big number in the altcoins is the 203 billion market cap. When it gets above that again, I think the party will kick off. The fun will begin. Let's have a look at total market cap. Including Bitcoin. Now let's have a look at total market cap, including Bitcoin. Makes for an interesting read as well, to be honest. We're at the 786 and the 20 moving average on the daily chart again. And in total market cap, we skirted along the 382 as support. Really good support for the total market cap during that September lull. And then we blasted up. We got to the Fib 50. We had a few days there trying to break through the Fib 50. And then we blasted through the 618 in that huge run up without looking back. We blasted through the 618 perfectly. Then, interestingly, from that high on the 24th of November, we came down and tested the 618 perfectly, went back up and tested the 786 and couldn't get through. And so we're just hovering. I think we're biding time before we blast through that 786, because this is a perfect 618 correction here. And now we're battling the 20-day moving average in total market cap. And this measurement for this fib it's not the high. It's where is that measurement? It's the body candle. No, let's get it perfectly on there. Oh, well, that changes things a bit, folks, I'm afraid. I'm not sure why that measurement had taken place as it had there. Let's make sure it's accurate. Right, that's pretty accurate to me. So total market cap, look, came perfectly up in May. That rally in May 2018 was a perfect test of a major fib level, wasn't it? Was it the 50? Yeah, the Fib 50, look, in May 427. And then in June 2019, it was a test of the 382 and couldn't get through. So this is an accurate. Let's have a look at how accurate we are here. It's always good to check your accuracies on a shorter time frame chart than a weekly when you're measuring these. You want to make sure that your fib is drawn in the right place perfectly. That is now. So, yeah, 2019, we battled the Fib 236 in May, and then we blasted through, got to the 382, and we failed there. We came back down and we tested the 236 again. We used it as support for a long period of time. Then we went blasted below it. We went back up. We tested it in October, that Jinping rally. Then we were down in the doldrums, and this was a perfect bottoming period, I felt. So we're way below the fibs here, but this is the long-term chart. We went back up, and we tested this 236 again. We used it. It was resistance. We hugged it. We went above it, and we come back down, tested it for support before this summer blasting through, getting to the 382. Getting above the 382, that was a key period. When we got above the 382 in August, we'd bettered what we did the year before. Then we came back down. We were using it as resistance. Then it became quite strong resistance. And when we eventually blasted through the 382, the total market cap, we used it as support again in October before gaining strength and going on. So sometimes there are periods where you need to use a level as strong support before getting strength from the support. And traders think, right, that's support there. And then we go through and we go up. And we didn't have much issue with the Fib 50, the total market cap, in November. We went above it and then we come back down, used it as support again, though. There is a case to say that, look, that's, again, there's building a bit of a base there, using it as support for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days before, 6 days before blasting up. And then we blasted up. We didn't get to the 786 on the total market cap. We've gone up and we've gone back down and we've tested this for support, the 618. The 618 is the golden. This between the 618 here. So I'll show you that between that 618 and that 786 is a golden, they call it the golden ratio. So we could be stuck in this range for a while. We could go up and test it on the upside. If we go up and test it on the upside, you're looking at a Bitcoin price around 22,000, I think, 23,000. And then I think we come back down again. We could stay in this channel. It wouldn't surprise me staying in this channel here. So there, just coming in this channel here for a long period of time. That is not out of the question, all the way up till February. And I'm expecting, to be honest, I'm expecting April. So not quite there yet. I'm expecting April to be the big one, the Q2. So as I say, we could carry on blasting around here. And then April is where I'm expecting upward price movements. I'm looking at April being an absolutely incredible bull run into June. And according to that, it's taken us to what? That's taken us to our all-time high, that will. That will take us to our all-time high in total market cap in April. Because that was a big bullish market back in January 2018. Altcoins really had received. That is when I'm expecting to test the crypto total market cap around here, around the end of June. So the end of Q4, end of Q2. I don't expect to test it. Some people are saying we'll be at $1 trillion market cap by the end of June. I see, let's do this slower. Let's go sideways in a channel. Let's go sideways in this channel, the golden channel, before Q2, and we blast through a lot of resistances and we see how far it takes us. With that momentum, Q3 might not be too bad as well. When Q3 is usually a downtime, we had a good Q3 last year, and I'm expecting another one this year, although usually it's a time of real bearish action. And if it's in a bear market, so for example, 2018, let's go back and have a look at that. The 2018 Q3 was a very bear. Actually, July picked up a little bit, I think, in 2018. But then we really hit the buffers in August, September, and we were taught a lesson then, really. So Q3 2018, we started here. We started here in July so we started around 211 total market cap. We did go up in July to 290, but then we had this bearish August action, which is go to the beach time of year, take profits, go to the beach. We rallied up a little bit to begin September at 231, and then we had that bearish. Now Q4, beginning of October, is usually bullish, but this year we had plenty of bearish action to complete. Let's have a look at Q3 in 2019. So in 2019, we had that huge Q2. Look what happened in Q2 2019. Marvelous price action. So it really all began on the first day, on the second day of Q2 there you go. There's April the 1st, where we began at 132, and then we went up to what? 388 at the end of Q. So there's the end of Q2. So Q2 was bullish action for 3 months there. And then Q3, as you can see, beginning of July, we stumbled. We really stumbled. We went right down in July from highs of 388 market cap. We went down to 236 in July. And then we skirted along that 236. At the beginning of August, we had a bit of a rally. We went back up to 318 and then down again. But Q3, there was selling pressure. There was big selling pressure on a weekly chart, even more so. You'd see that even more so because these upper wicks were so high. Let me show you what I mean about that, because it's important to know when there's heavy selling pressure in a market. It's always good to see what I'm talking about. So look at the wicks, the upper wicks on this chart. The wick there, huge upper wick, selling pressure, and again there. And there's very little below wicks. So that indicated that there was big selling pressure. And so at the end of Q, so September was the end of it. And September, look, at the end of September, we bottomed out. So Q3, look, was a bad time. It went from highs at the beginning of Q3 of 351, went all the way down to end Q3 at 195. So nearly half of it. It nearly halved in Q3. Q4, we rallied up a little bit in October, but this was really a bottoming out period. And I felt in Q1, which normally isn't that good, we began our bull run and was interrupted. So it doesn't work every year. But what I'm saying is I think that we could have a quiet Q1 where it rallies in this golden ratio period. And then I'm expecting, we could go back on the charts and look at every single Q2. So the only Q2 I didn't show you, which is relevant recently, is the 2018 one. And look at how Q2 started. So Q2 began here. Look at it. Look at that. What I'm saying about Q2. Q2 is a phenomenal time in bankers bonus season in crypto. Look at that, Q2. Yes, okay, it came back down, but the strength was there for Q2. And this year, I'm expecting it to really rally upwards, to really pick up a bid in Q2. I think we could go up to 786, which would take Bitcoin to all-time highs. But then I think we may come back down again until we go into 30K at least in Q2 2021. So I'll leave that with you. Just a quick look at the total market caps. I haven't even looked at Elliott Wave patterns. On this trading view video, I don't really get enough time to talk about things. What's the Elliott Wave would be interesting to see where we are with Elliott Wave in this. The Elliott Wave is always a fascinating indicator. I think we'd have to look at it more zoomed out. What can I tell you? I think this is a wave 5 or wave 3. Sorry, I think we're in a wave 3 at the moment, and which is the big period. And when will 4 come? When will wave 4 correction come? Well, it could be this. This could be it. A shallowish wave 4, and then 5 is always the finisher, the big bullish finisher. We'll have to see. I would like to talk about Elliott Wave on the total market caps because I do think it's interesting. I do think this is a 3, which is the usually. So we might stay in the 3. This might stay in the 3, and then we'll have a 4 in. So we might rally up still, and then we'll have a 4 in February in Q1, which is generally quite weak. Q1 is quite a weak time. We'll have our 4 before Q2, which I think will be wave 5, which will be the big one. We'll just have to wait and see.